up? Cool. You just stand up and you did some exercise, but before I start, can you please all stand up again? The power of being on stage. You can tell people what to do. I want to try something maybe impossible. It's a synchronized clap. And the secret to do that is to raise your arms like this, right? Take a photo because, you know, and I'm going to count till 3 and we try to clap, all right? 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Round of applause for you all. What am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about my story. I'm going to talk about AI, design, the future, my view. So my name is Simone, and I am a product designer. And before that, I was a UX designer. And for a brief amount of time, I was an interaction designer. And back in 2010, I was a UI designer. Change again. For maybe a year, I was an information architect. I don't know if anyone remembers. And before that, I was a web designer. But I was ultimately a designer. When I started back in 2001, web design wasn't a thing back in Italy, where I'm from. There was no formal education, no specific course like regularized. But I had a passion. It was design and technology. A little story. I remember that I studied or learned how to code HTML and CSS by printing a book. And I had this over 140 pages that was carrying with me in high school. And I designed a website using this beautiful background. You remember Matrix? And it was very weird because my professor absolutely loved it. It was very basic to think about what we can do today. And I remember him walking around the high school screaming, "This is amazing." And he was holding a CD-ROM at that time. So at that time, I was lucky enough that I found a private course that gave me the skills and the knowledge to be a web designer. But in reality, I had no idea how my future would look like. I had hope, big hope, that this could become my job. And with years, as I evolved my roles, jobs, organization, also design styles and trends appear and evolved. Who remember skeuomorphic design here? 2, 3, not many designers maybe. So this was when everyone was trying to design user interfaces, try to mimic the real world object. I remember trying to design a swimming pool icon that really looked like a swimming pool in reality. It was pretty cool, big trend. Be more technical, maybe less hands now. Parallax. Period of parallax, 3, 4. This was when still today, when the objects move at a different speed compared to the background. Very cool. Everyone was trying parallax, amazing. Flat design, maybe more hands now? No? 1, 2. Probably one of the biggest wave and trends in web design changed in the last 10 years, and it's still here today. So what happened when all these trends appear? Well, people start following the trends. And what happened at the time that a lot of websites looked and behaved the same. Now, maybe that was great because implementation was easier. People just copy and paste the code. But from a creative standpoint, I would say it's a bit boring, right? I don't know if you remember, you'll see the same hero banner, same dimension, same treatment. Typography, all the same. Interaction, animation, motion, very, very similar. I'll pause for a second. Goes in your brain. Let's see. Now, have you heard about AI? Many hands? No hands? No? 3? Oh, I was expecting a bit more. So yesterday, last year, today, tomorrow, this year, and in the future, AI is here. And I really think it's going to stay. Now, when I think about AI and design, for me, thank you. AI is changing a lot. It's changing the way we're creating design. It's changing a lot the way we are designing. It's changing the way we are thinking about design and designing. Now, I'm not going to tell you all the tools that you use every day, you're trying, because you know them all, right? But I want to share why I'm so excited about AI and design. AI, for me, is enabling more non-designers. It looks like there's a lot of non-designers here to become designers, right? So this AI is really enabling and making like design more accessible to more and more people. Think about last year, maybe 2022, 2023, you started your presentation, just a skeleton, couple of dots here, notes here, but you still need a designer or two or a team to help you to craft your presentation. Now, with a few prompts, couple of clicks, bang, job done. And I think as we are at the beginning of this journey, and I do love analogies, I think we're all kids, and I consider all of us kids. And when I think about kids, I think about sport. And when I think about sport, I think about soccer. Maybe I should say footy because I'm in Australia, but I'm Italian, I'll say soccer. So what happens when you get kids, 10, 20 kids playing soccer all together? They're chasing the ball, right? You see this flock of kids moving, everyone on one side, on the other side. There's not much strategy. They stumble, they like bump into each other. The ball goes right, goes left, a lot of screaming. So there's not much strategy. There's not much understanding how to play the game. And with years, those kids playing, practice more every day. And they start understanding how to play the game, how to organize themselves in the field, how to kick the ball. And they also develop incredible skills, both brain skills and the strategies, also physical skills, how to kick the ball, organize themselves, and so forth. And I think we are in the same phase today, and maybe in the future. We're all chasing AI. We're all looking and try the same tools, starting new strategies. It's a bit of a race, right? But not really understanding how to play the game. And like those kids, I think with years of practice, as I said, just the beginning, we're gonna start appreciating more how AI and design work together. We're gonna start learning new tools, understanding the strategies. And like those kids, we're gonna to develop very important skills. Maybe like someone mentioned that you mentioned, right? The VR and AR, Facebook and so forth. We're gonna start learning those physical skills, develop those skills, but also like brain skills, how to interact. And really learning how to play the AI game. So when I reflect on the future, I reflect on AI, I reflect on design, I think things will change. AI will evolve, design will evolve, and new tools will appear. We're gonna start playing with different strategies. We're gonna start organizing ourselves again, maybe differently. And with all the changes, maybe new trends will come up again, new things that maybe everyone wants to follow. And we'll be in the same situation where everyone is chasing AI and those trends. So I want to leave you with this thought that when those trends are going to happen, what I really hope, we will try to remember, and I say try to remember, who at the end, who we really are, designers. Thank you. Quick and snappy. Are you in your microphone?
Thanks so much, Simone. It's great to hear all about your journey as a designer and how it's evolved over the years. Simone and I worked together at Redbubble. I don't know if you're about Redbubble, but another Australian iconic unicorn. So I've seen your journey as a designer and how you've evolved, and now you're at Canva, which is like almost iconic, obviously, now in the design space. How does it feel for you as a designer helping non-designers do the work that you used to do?
I think it's incredible, right? So if I apply my product design thinking and design thinking, like that's thanks to those non-designers that can do a better job because understanding from them. So it's kind of like connected to my everyday job, right? Understanding how I can actually transform those non-designers into designers. Sometimes I think, oh, will they steal my job? No, I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, we'll still kind of think about the problem we want to solve for those non-designers and the tools we want to build.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting, and maybe you'll see a lot of non-design, become a designer and doing my job, great, come and work with me, great, love that. But yeah, that's my point of view.
Yeah, and I think the other thing I hear a lot at the moment is that the role of the engineer is almost evolving into a designer, or the engineering part of, there's so much no-code product out there now, right? Like we have the ability to build beautiful products without code, and the design element is the thing that separates the product from the competition.
Yeah.
Do you see that in your world as well, or don't you see that impacting?
I think these days, as a designer, you should or must learn a little bit how to build those products technically. But also as engineers, they should know how to design things, right? I have a very good example. When I was at Redbubble, I spent a lot of time with the creative technologies, which is a mix between an engineer and a designer, probably more engineer. But by spending time together and kind of pairing, I really found that engineer basically became a designer in common, talking to me and asking me, what do you think of this approach, literally designing with code? And I'm a big fan of designing and testing basically in the browser with the code itself, because it gives you a real understanding how the experience will look like. And the beautiful part of an engineer, we need to speak two different languages, but if you start speaking the same language, we can connect and understand more how to work together.
Yeah, nice. That's a really nice way to think about it. I'm sure in the audience there are a lot of non-tech founders as well right now, and obviously design is now a very technical thing, as well as a visually beautiful thing. But the non-tech founder space is growing, and it's possible now to create off very little technical knowledge. Do you see a time or a space with AI, with the benefit of AI, that you could literally create a product by asking AI to build it for you?
Yes, I think that's going to happen. I don't know how perfect it's going to be, because we're ultimately driven by us, right? The inputs, the way you want to communicate with AI. It's a bit scary if you think about, one click and everything's going to happen. So I really hope, as I say, that actually we remember that time when things are going to happen, who we really are, and how we kind of deal with that situation. I think someone was talking about emotions before, and how we're going to deal with maybe awareness that that's okay, and maybe we'll go back in nature and do something different, hopefully not, but I think it's going to be about awareness.
Yeah, amazing, great, I love that. Anybody got any questions in the audience for Simone about the world of design, or throw us something, a curly one if you want to. Any questions at all?
Tough crowd.
No, love that. We have one at the back there. Maybe we have a microphone somewhere. Oh, no.
We go there?
Might be. I'll go and give it to you. I'm coming.
Runway.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Hello.
quick question. So as a designer at Canva, where's the line between letting non-designers design or perhaps letting AI design? And so where does that designer's role start and end in your eyes?
Well, our mission is empower everyone to design, right? So the line is basically inexistent, in my opinion. What's the line between non-designers? I think it's, at the moment, probably is looking at what's next, how we can help those non-designers to become designers and actually bring them closer. Because I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what they need, how they want to work, and how they will actually use the product. So in a lot of work we do, we bring users, the non-designers, close to us, constantly researching. As I said before, I think it's having that understanding is probably key to the work we do. So if I think about lines, you said there's basically no line, actually. It's a gate, open gate to come and work with us.
Yeah, amazing. Do you have any designers in your team that are new to design and maybe haven't even got a design degree, but actually are now working in design and Canva?
Maybe not in Canva, but
Okay.
I ran a side gig called Therapy for Designers, and which is monthly get-togethers, talk about challenges as designers in an open forum. And I noticed a lot of transition from being an architect and become a designer.
Yeah.
Someone be a lawyer and want to become a designer.
Yeah.
I think there's again more awareness how people can access design. Courses and YouTube. You can find everything on YouTube these days. Learn everything, right? But there's a big transition, and I would say even the last session we had this week, more than 50%, 7, 8 people that came to the session are no designers who wants to become a designer and really try to understand how to navigate the world of UX and product design. And with the thinking of, oh, geez, AI is gonna, can I do this job or should I use AI? Should I learn? I have a lot of questions from designers say, should I start doing an AI course or a UX course or product design course? And there's a bit of a debate around there.
I think that it's really, interesting. We were talking about it earlier on about living our purpose and being able to work for our purpose. And I love that you're having lawyers and architects wanting to leave that traditional safe career to move into something much more creative and much more purpose-driven, if you like, and more aligned to them as a human being. Would you agree that that's...
Yeah, that's the case. Although with the jump, there's always a lot of question mark, and is it okay for me? Should I do it or not do it? Because the lawyer or the architect, they develop their own routine, their comfort zone, and so jumping on something completely new really breaks that, and it's, jumping off the comfort zone, it's a very hard thing to do. Not everyone can do it, so I've seen a lot of, let's say, probably almost 80% of people that do the jump, they're happy and they stay, and the other 20 actually realize, actually I should stay and continue my architect and lawyer job.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, it's not all smooth sailing as a designer. It's certainly not a job I would dream of being able to do. Thank you so much, Simone. Round of applause, Simone. And if you enjoy the creative conversation, then you're all going to love our conversation at the end of the day with Ant Dever